I'm Anna and I'm here with Brittany, and today she's going to show us how to make a fall wreath that will last all the way through Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Anna. So let me explain the materials that we have on the counter first off. We're going to do a beautiful fall Thanksgiving wreath that will kind of last you through the whole season. We chose a grapevine base, very natural, gives it that look of fall and change in the air. We have our flowers, and I'll explain what we have here. We have our sunflowers. These three are going to be our focal point that really draws your eye into the piece and makes it kind of stand out. And then we have our white accent flowers that will make the sunflowers kind of pop even more. And then we have different pieces that will go on the side of the wreath that kind of draw your eye back into those sunflowers. And then lastly but not least, we have our pear. I really think fruit is a fun thing to add into floral arrangements. People don't normally expect it, and it just kind of adds like a fun take on it.
I love it.
And then with supplies, we again have our long nose pliers to cut our stems and to kind of adjust things how we want it. We have a hot glue gun and our hot glue sticks. And then also too, with our flowers, some of them are going to be really hard to cut because the wire's thick. So with our sunflowers, for example, you can just pluck them right off.
You just pop off.
I know, they do. It's so easy. And they're already ready for your wreath. And you can also do the same for the leaves if you want to use them as well. So I'll put those there, but it's all ready to go.
Okay, so let's get started with first the wreath. We have to first find the top and bottom.
Yes. So it's good to kind of know what direction your wreath is going to be hanging and where you're going to place everything on your wreath. So overall placement is important before you get started. Before we start hot gluing, we want to kind of play around with our pieces and kind of see where everything's going to go.
Okay.
It definitely gives you more options.
Right, so we definitely have a lot of pieces here. Are
Yes.
we going to use all of them?
No. This will probably be too much for a wreath, but more options is always better. It kind of just gives you more choices, and you can kind of play around with it.
So it's always better to start with more than less.
Yes, definitely. Nothing's worse than having to run back to the craft store when you're right in the middle of it.
Okay, so what do we start with first?
Normally, with some pieces we want to start with the focal piece, but with this one I actually want to start with kind of the side pieces that drape around the wreath.
Okay.
And we're just going to play around and just place it before we hot glue.
Okay.
So we have some really nice different picks. This is like a kind of a velvety leaf. I think it's just really fun. So we can kind of, again, since it's wire, just turn it around and twist it, and it will kind of start to like edge around your wreath, like form around it, which is great. So that's what you want to start. This is going to be our top, and this will be our bottom. And we're going to do our cluster of sunflowers right on the side. It just creates more visual interest than having it straight below, but it's all up to you. Any choice is fine.
Okay. Does it matter left or right?
No, not at all. It's
Okay.
really just what you feel like doing, and wherever your imagination takes you.
Okay.
So we have that. I'm going to start handing you some pieces, and you can start playing around with it. So now you have all your plants that will drape around the side of the wreath.
Okay.
So the next step is going to be to hot glue everything.
Okay.
Definitely be careful. You don't want to get burned by this, but it's definitely, it'll dry in seconds. So it'll be super easy and quick. So we'll get started. Where we're at currently. This will be the top, and the flowers wrapping around the wreath. So it looks really pretty.
Sunflower can go right there.
Yep, right there. Perfect. Okay, here's our sunflowers. Again, odd numbers always look good. They add more visual interest into your piece. So I always recommend working within 3 or 5s. It just makes it look really nice. Okay, there we go. Okay, so maybe add on another leaf. Where do you think? works great. We'll do that. Okay, so next we have our pear and our white accent flowers. We have a pile of white accent flowers, but we probably only need to use a couple just to kind of showcase the sunflowers. But it's always a nice option. I find white flowers always kind of help make things pop, so they're really fun. These ones we cut a little bit. Some of them we just kind of plucked off, and some we cut about 2 inches on the stem. These ones we can just kind of, once we add hot glue, just kind of slide them in there. Yeah, exactly. You can decide kind of how you want to hang it. I always think it's fun to kind of do it, the cluster on one of the sides rather than on the bottom, but it's up to your personal choice on that. But I think if you have the top right here, it looks great.
It looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Brittany.
You're welcome, Anna. I had a fun time doing this.
All right, so hopefully we'll do the next one.
Yes, definitely.
For winter.
Aw.
That'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.